Hello everyone, this is Juliana and I have a journal to show you today. I have been filming a lot of journals. I know I've said that in the beginning of each of my shares here on my channel, but I just did a video marathon and this is the 6th journal that I am videotaping today, and I still feel lucid, which is kind of strange. I haven't spent as much. Usually my videos are a lot longer, and I was happy and surprised to say that these video flips went relatively fast. You know, and I was able to show everything, but I guess maybe I'm becoming more efficient at this. So it's nice to see all of you. I got a manicure. The first video, I got the manicure midway through making the videos. I'm happy with the color. I'm doing a fair in Connecticut next week, and these journals will be all for sale. So let's begin. This is a journal. As you can see, it says Popular Mechanics. I wish I had the year on this. I believe this is from the 30s. It's an older one. I have quite a few of these. And I do have an Etsy store, which I will post below. It's called JujuBeeLove. And I probably am ready to part with some of these Popular Mechanics. They're magazines if you're not familiar with them. And I thought it'd be really fun to turn a magazine, a vintage magazine, into a journal. So I just used the cover, and I believe in the inside of the book I might have used some of the pages. So let's begin. It's got this really groovy image of someone, a scuba diver, underneath the water. It looks like he's found some kind of treasure. And right here is some vintage trim. I think it's from the 1800s. It's from my dear friend Jerry Bellini, who has a really great store on Etsy called Recycled Parts for Arts, and she has a YouTube channel, and I can link that below. So here is the spine. It's I don't know if it's real velvet, but it's a nice pink color, and I don't know if you can see now that I'm coming closer, I stitched the signatures in, and I had embroidery floss that matched it perfectly. And here's the back, and this is craft text that I have stained with Tim Holtz Distress ink. I think it was walnut. And then I preserved it by putting a Krylon matte finish over it. And then the corner, I'm a big fan of kitsch, and I put this sweet little deer patch on it from this store that's on Etsy. That I got it from them, and sadly they've closed. I love that store. Anyway, you have to move on, right? So it's got a hitch post. I've been using a lot of hitch posts recently. Let's go inside. So because the dimensions of the magazine were let me do the measuring. Okay, so across it's a big 7 1/4, and the length is it's about 9 inches, and the spine is 1.5 inches, which I'm kind of shocked. And so because it was such a wide magazine, I had to use 11 by 17 copy paper. I got a nice quality one, and everything is coffee dyed inside the book. And basically the book has this retro spacey science theme to it. It's a hodgepodge, but it's basically science and space. My partner is a middle school science teacher, so she definitely inspired me. So got that retro-futurism picture on the first signature. I have here on the left a library pocket with a library card, and as with all my journals, I put in on the back, I stamp the name of my store, JujuBeeLove. And I think the paper is Cartabella, and it's really groovy paper. I don't know if I get close enough, you can see these awesome space girls. So right over here is this mechanical. I just love the design of vintage papers, retro ones. I love that mechanical look. This is a journal card, and then I use a couple of the stuff from their ephemera pack. The next page has a double pocket, so it's got this snake oil and then a hot air balloon. And this is from a health book for children, and it's someone teaching how to brush your teeth. This is Russian math school paper. And then this groovy robot scrapbook paper from the same line that I use, the same paper pack. This is a vintage, it looks like trigonometry. I'm not sure. I was a terrible science student, so I couldn't tell you. But it came from my deceased father-in-law. This is this fabulous letterhead paper that I got from Gail Greenfield. I think it's Agnostelli. And because the dimensions were so wide, I had to sew pages together, scrapbook pages, but I really like the patchwork feel to it. It reminds me a lot of Marianne Moss's, the stuff that she does in her Remains of the Day class. If you ever get a chance, I highly recommend taking that class to make a rod journal. They're really, if you like eclectic journals, you'll really enjoy her class. Some teeth, and I just love this image. Journal card. This is a science. This is Why Do We Need Vitamin A? And here is my favorite new stamp. It's a brain. Well, I've got a couple new favorite stamps. I have to thank Marguerite Miller for enabling me with stamps. All of a sudden, I've gone stamp bonkers. So you can see it was fun patchworking these different papers together. Here is, sadly, I only have like a couple more of these, but they're hard plastic CD holders, and they make wonderful pockets. And it's different, like most of the ones they sell online, eBay, are thinner plastic, but I guess I'll have, I'll break down and buy them. This is an anatomical image. There's also another little pocket here you can put something in. Some geology. And a lot of coffee dyed papers with nice marks on it. If it's not vintage, or, you know, most of it has been coffee dyed. Stamping. This is some ledger paper from 1927. I'm sadly running out of that. This is from a science children's book. And then this is this groovy retro-futurism. If you're not familiar with that expression, I actually didn't know what I didn't know what to call it, but it's basically from, you know, the 50s and the 60s, what they believed the future would look like. And now it's become very dated, and they call it retrofuturism, and I really love those images. This came from the Popular Mechanics, this loading pocket, this ad that I turned into a side loading pocket. It must be the 30s. A lot of ads for training to get work. I guess people were unemployed, so lots of schools and stuff. There's another retrofuturism of this sexy space girl. I love this. I love this design, the colors. This is very sad. This is Leica, who I put on a journaling card. If you're not familiar, she was, and then I stamped her name up here, Leica. She was the first dog to go into space, the Russian center up there. And sadly, the temperatures got too hot and she passed away. And she was actually a street dog, and she was just so well-mannered and sweet and kind that they decided to use her to go up into space. Just a little history. Little science geek history. This over here says Sputnik. I'm sure you know what that is. Another Russian. I love this beautiful spacey paper. It's like, it reminds me of the Jetsons. If any of you are of this age group who know who the Jetsons are. This is an Amazon craft grocery bag, and another geology image with a vintage nurse. Two men, this is a bit from a vintage magazine. Two men working on, almost looks like an early computer. Here's a anatomical image from this really beautiful Soviet book I own of anatomical images. The drawings are amazing. I collect anatomy books and children books, and I can't believe I'm actually not hoarding this stuff and I'm using it. It's a good thing. Map. We're almost at the end. And here is the final side loading pocket of a vintage camera. This is also from Popular Mechanics. And this is, I think this image here is a phrenology image. And phrenology is the pseudoscience of looking at people's features to discern their personality traits, and obviously that's something that's outdated and is called a pseudoscience. And that is it. That's the back cover. That's the inside of the back cover, and this groovy paper. And that is it. That is it. I hope this was a longer video than most. I was a little chatty. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you real soon. Take care. Bye.